Hello, this is Justice Backstrom, and welcome back to another God, Guns, and Gaming video. I wasn't originally sure about making this video, since I didn't really feel it was my place. Obviously, I didn't know Charlie Kirk personally. I didn't even follow him particularly closely, but I think I should, and I think that there's something that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. Obviously, I've seen some people saying some of these same things, but I still obviously thought that I would want to put my own put it in my own words, hence why I'm here making this video. So immediately after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I started seeing people posting this quote:
"You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death." That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
And people saying that, oh, Charlie Kirk lost a gun debate. And what I guess I hadn't realized before is apparently a lot of people, a lot of liberals, people on the left, don't understand that we are willing to sacrifice our own lives for the things we believe in. I don't know, I guess they expect us to be the same pathetic, cowering little cowards that they are, I guess, if that's their reference point. And again, I'm saying these things sort of blanket. I know there's exceptions out there, and I'm probably being a bit hyperbolic, but we're not huddling here, ooh, I hope nothing bad ever happens. No, we're freaking trying to take a little bit of control over what happens and what can happen and how far something bad can go before it's able to be stopped. We're not naive to the fact that there's danger, there's potential danger every second of our lives. You know, anyone can kill anyone. They just have to be willing to sacrifice themselves. And we recognize that. And we want to take active defense measures against that. We want to be able to protect ourselves. But to that quote that I referenced earlier, this is not a callous just dismissal of the fact that some people are very unfortunately murdered. Now, if you want to be objective, well, okay, firearms do account for, I think, the majority of murders, but rifles, what the left usually goes after is rifles, and especially so-called assault weapons, which, by the way, if a weapon is a rifle and an assault weapon, but not an assault rifle, how does that make any sense? Well, it doesn't make any sense because assault weapon is a made-up term used to scare people who don't really know what they're talking about or what they're being talked to about. That's a tangent, and that's not the point of this video, but it just came into my head to mention. Again, this isn't a callous dismissal of the fact that some people are killed, that some people are going to be killed in order that we can have these freedoms that we think are a net positive, a net worth it in the end. There's lots of things like this, okay? The most obvious one to point to is driving. Thousands of people are killed every year in the United States in automobile accidents. And yet, we say that's an acceptable risk for the benefits of you know, convenient travel and all the industry around and that is supported by transportation. And this idea of accepting risks is a very basic thing that anyone who is ever put into any leadership position, has any basic leadership training, should understand. You assess risks, try to implement controls, and ultimately you make a risk decision. You decide, as a leader, part of your job is to decide what risks are acceptable. I mean, risks are inevitable, but that implies that some risks are acceptable while others are not. And again, if we're talking about rifles specifically, the less than 400 people a year killed by rifles are an acceptable risk for the benefits, according to the vast majority of Americans who can think about it logically, and according to the Second Amendment, the laws on the book, the Constitution, and fortunately for now, still a majority of our elected officials, although some of them would like to overturn those norms. Again, anyone can be murdered at any point by anyone, and there's always dangers, and getting rid of some of the means, we'll never be able to get rid of all the means, because people can kill each other. Freaking Cain killed his brother with a rock, okay? More people die to, you know, hands, fists, and arms every year than to rifles. But yeah, so I've been kind of going on, and I want to wrap things up. So, Charlie Kirk, I don't want to speak for Charlie Kirk, and I don't know if he ever addressed this specifically, but I'm gonna say for me right now, in case in the future I am ever assassinated, if I'm ever killed, that absolutely does not change my view on my right to bear arms, your right to bear arms, anyone's right to bear arms. Being the focus of an unfortunate tragedy does not change. It's not as if I didn't realize that was a possibility. And I would say that that goes for the vast majority of pro-2A people. And again, not speaking for Charlie, but if I could, I would assume that he would say the same thing. And again, just don't go dancing on his grave. Don't go, I mean, like, be a decent human. Like, we don't expect everyone on the left to respond the same way that people on the right are. Just act like a human, okay? You know, treat others the way you'd want to be treated. I've gone on for too long now, and I'm starting to repeat things and forget what I have already said, so I'm going to finish up this video here. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.